So I made a video the other day talking about the Matt Walsh, What is a Woman, and I suggested in that video that there are basically such divergent philosophical views that these people in this documentary and the people on both sides of this issue can't even really talk to each other. There's no common ground, there's no philosophical unity by which they can address these specifics. And I'm calling this a specific, right? The definition of a woman is really far advanced on the spectrum of ideas, right? I mean, much broader ideas like, is there a God? Are human beings ontologically something solid? Like, is there a form, like Plato would say, of humanity? Or what is truth? What does language do? I mean, these questions are really much more fundamental. And if you answer these questions in different ways, you're going to come up with a very different worldview. And that's what's happened. We have two people of such divergent worldviews that the idea of defining something, the idea of using language to attribute something specific to reality is not a given. So I'm not trying to say that these people are right. I'm not trying to say that we shouldn't disagree with them, but I am trying to say that the sort of conversations that we're having surrounding this issue, where we're just calling people idiots and we're saying, seeing how dumb they are, is really not accomplishing anything. And one of the things that I was kind of disappointed in is in the movie, Matt Walsh talks to Carl Trueman, who wrote a really great book called The Rise and Triumph of the Modern Self. And in that book, Trueman talks about all these issues, the way that people today, and it's not just liberals, it's pretty much everybody, have gone down this road of defining the self psychologically and defining the way that we view ethics and morals via our emotions. It's called emotivism. I really recommend you look into that book because it really helped to teach me a whole lot too. But really, the conclusion of the book is that the battle is fought somewhere light years away from the issues that we're dealing with it on. In order to really get somewhere, I think we need to start talking about the philosophical issues that have infected modern culture, modern education, and have created ideas like this and problems like this. So I'm not saying that there's not a biological woman. I'm not saying you can't define woman, and I'm not saying that's not an issue of reality, but it is an issue of how we look at reality and how we look at words and definitions and how we look at human beings as an ontological principle. These are all issues that are very much agreed upon by these two camps. So my recommendation is, number one, read that book. It's a really good book. But number two, when you encounter somebody that has what I would consider a radical view, try to interact with those views on a deeper level, because you're not going to be able to talk to them about these specifics. It's just not going to work. And that's my encouragement, and that's what I was trying to get across from that first video. So let me know what you think.